Has been rocked by another mass shooting, this time in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 4 people were killed when a gunman opened fire at a medical building just before 5 p.m. yesterday. Police say the gunman bought an AR-style rifle hours before the shooting, killing 4 people before fatally shooting himself. They say he blamed a surgeon for ongoing back pain after a recent surgery. That doctor was killed in the shooting. Following yesterday's mass shooting, President Biden is scheduled to address the nation tonight at 7:30 at the White House. One organization says the Tulsa shooting marks the 20th mass shooting since the massacre in Uvalde, Texas last week. Western Mass News reporter Paris Dunford sat down with a local expert to learn why these tragic events tend to occur closer together. She joins us live with what she's learned. Paris.
Chris, a criminal justice professor at Western New England University, says after a high-profile shooting like the one in Texas, other so-called copycat gunmen tend to follow. On Wednesday, a gunman opened fire at a Tulsa, Oklahoma medical building, killing 4 people. This comes just 1 week after another shooter murdered more than a dozen students in Uvalde, Texas, and 2 weeks after another shooting at a Buffalo grocery store. The shooting in Tulsa marks the 233rd deadly mass shooting since the beginning of the year. That's according to Gun Violence Archive, which lists where each shooting took place across the country, as you can see here on this map. They say a mass shooting is one that has 4 people either shot or killed.
We have seen an increase in what we think of as the standard mass shooting.
Dr. Craig Dunton, a criminal justice associate professor at Western New England University, says a cluster of shootings usually happen right after a big event like the mass shooting in Uvalde.
So when people have those feelings and they see someone do it and get attention, they're more inclined to say, well, that could be me also. So that's why we see kind of that copycat pattern.
And one alarming trend of these events have to do with the age of the shooter. The Uvalde suspect was 18 years old. The suspect in the Buffalo shooting was also 18.
A lot of it is kind of the young male frustration with the world and feeling wronged by something or someone.
Since these events, some citizens are crying out for stronger gun laws, since in both the Tulsa and Uvalde shooting, the gunmen bought their weapons legally. On Thursday, the Judiciary Committee is holding an emergency session to discuss numerous gun violence prevention measures.
Enough is enough.
This package, called Protecting Our Kids Act, includes new federal offenses for gun trafficking, an increase in the legal age to buy a semi-automatic weapon from 18 to 21 years old. It also includes discussion of red flag laws, which would allow law enforcement to confiscate guns from people deemed to be a risk to themselves or others.
Wait and see attitude, because typically in Congress, we haven't done anything with gun control in a long time. I'm hopefully optimistic.
You can stick with Western Mass News for the latest updates on the vote expected to come out of today's hearing. Reporting live, Paris Dunford for Western Mass News.
Paris, thank you for that live report. And as we mentioned, the president will deliver remarks tonight about the recent mass shootings in our country. He's expected to urge Congress to pass new laws to combat gun violence. You can see the president's address to the nation tonight at 7:30 right here on the networks of Western Mass News.